you'll be shocked to find it has a mute button on it. And I know it's like going cold turkey from some kind of intoxication, but you'll survive for a few minutes. Just shut it off or mute it. When you turn it back on, the bad news will still be there. You haven't missed anything. The world will still turn. So thank you very much. If you have a small child, and yes, I mean you, everyone thinks, oh, he's talking to the person next to them. For the sake of everyone's peace of mind, including the small child, because they're going nuts sitting here. So if every kid gets 3 strikes, you know, like baseball, 1, 2, 3, and at the 3rd time for every, and I'll keep score, don't worry. And everyone, you know, they could, now, but the thing is, what are they going to do? Because it's raining. Is it raining now? It's too cold outside. So maybe I should practice Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction of being more tolerant than the tree. Trinadapi sunichena. All right, so we'll tolerate. At least try. So today is a most auspicious day. Right on cue. No, I don't, but where are you going to go? You're going to sit out in the cold? Mataji. That wasn't 3. And plus, no, but where's, no, listen. Where are you going to go? No, there's nowhere to, try out there. Try, it's dry and it's safe. And if it doesn't work, listen, hey, hang with me. If it doesn't work, try out there. If you go out, we're eating up all the time arguing. If you just sit in there, there's things you can play with. It's inside. If you go outside in the cold, I'm going to feel even worse than I do already. Is that okay? And if it doesn't work, come on back in. We'll sort it out. Thank you. Now, let me find my glasses. You would think these things would be easy, but so what I was going to say is that we don't live in a 3-dimensional world. We think we do, but there's a whole reality, dimensions of reality that we don't see. Does the little ant here, he's cruising along, sent out by Queen Elizabeth or Isabel or whatever it is, the queen of the ants, to explore new worlds. That little ant will come, crawl, go up my leg, through my sika, out the other side, and report back to the queen, I found vast lands, forests, mountains, all uninhabited. Now, he's climbing on me, but the little ant has no clue. So frankly, although we're quite certainly, you're all exceptions as great saints and sadhus and sages, but for most people, including me, we're thinking we're the center of the universe. And whatever is important falls within our spectrum. But actually, our angle of vision is very, very small and finite. So on these special days, like today, the appearance day of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is a portal opens up, like a channel opens and the water can flow. The mercy of the Supreme Lord flows on these days, more than usual. It's a special day. So why is it a special day? We're going to help you with that. At least try. Before I forget, here we have, this is actually the last set of this book called Chaitanya-Charitamrita. We are the only one we have in stock. And so if someone wants to get a copy, we'll explain why. But if you want to get a copy, it's 100 and what did somebody told me? Where's Gaura? I know he's getting ready for the play. It's $135. It's 8 to 10 volumes, I forget which, fully illustrated. And it's a biography of the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose appearance day we're celebrating today. It's full of, if I were to go to college, and after college I would take a master's course, get a master's degree, and after a master's degree, you get a PhD, piled higher and deeper, permanent humility disorder, whatever, whatever. We're not anti-education, don't get me wrong. But the Chaitanya-Charitamrita is considered the apex of all spiritual knowledge. It is the PhD. It's beyond the Vedas. It's the sum total of the Vedas, the sum total of all the Puranas, all the Vedic literature. It is the apex of spiritual understanding. It's, again, it is sweet, sweet, can't be beat. So that's the Chaitanya-Charitamrita, and everything I'm going to say today will come from verses and explanations from that Chaitanya-Charitamrita. Come in or out, my friend? Yeah. So I guess I should get going. The first verse I wanted to quote, actually this one comes from the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself speaking. And he says, Paritanaya sadhunam vanasaya chadurskatam dharma samsta panartaya sambhavami yuge yuge, which is Sanskrit. And it means that when there's a rise of impiety, of adharma, misdeeds, ignorance, and simultaneously a decline of pious activities, when to assist the pious and to curb down the miscreants, Krishna says, I come myself. The Supreme Lord says, I come myself, again and again, age after age, yuge, yuge. The Supreme Lord, Krishna, the Supreme, when I say Krishna, I mean God. Krishna doesn't, if we accept that there's only two options. Everything happened by chance, or it happened by design. It's one or the other. By chance, even if you say, which George Washington used to believe, that God wound up the world like a clock and then left it alone. But even you do that, which isn't true, there's a cause. There was a cause, and if there's a cause, there's a purpose. So our choices, just to start at the beginning, our choices, things happen for a purpose, or they happen by chance. Either this world has a purpose, has a design, or it's just random. Just the laws of physics and random atoms colliding. It's one or the other. Now, we could spend a lot of time making the case, because it's quite reasonable, how there's a design and a purpose behind this creation. It didn't happen by chance. But just accepting that a priori, would the Would God make this world and then just walk away? Why go through the effort? Anybody here make something and then not use it for its purpose? Just, no. You make it for a purpose. So there is a purpose for this world. One could ask, well, we'll get there in a second. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is actively involved, cares about this world. He's sustaining all things. What is it? All things rest on me like pearls on a thread. So Krishna's maintaining everything, and he has a purpose. So he comes. Krishna, actually God, of course, is always existing. But just like now, what time is it? It's 6:45 p.m. Okay. It's going to change. It's going to be 7. It's going to be 8. It's going to be sunrise. Is the sun changing? What's changing? Help me out. Our angle of vision is changing. So in the same way, God is always existing, but he manifests from time to time, yuge. Those of you who know Vedic history, there's what's called Das avatars. Sometimes Krishna comes as Lord Boar, sometimes he comes as the tortoise, sometimes he comes as, I've probably already blown your mind on that. He comes as Lord Nrsingadev, half man, half woman. Half man, half woman. Half man, half lion. So he comes in amazing ways, each time with a purpose. So Krishna comes, just like Krishna comes as Lord Ram and Lakshman. Everyone knows that, who knows Vedic tradition. Krishna comes again as Balaram and Krishna. Krishna comes again, Sambhavami yuge. He manifests again and again for the purpose of saving this world. He comes again as, right here, these are murtis or deities of Lord Chaitanya on our left, Lord Nityananda on our left, and Lord Chaitanya on the right. So over 500 years ago, Lord Krishna came again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Krishna comes as Das Avatar, as he comes as the Ram and Lakshman. So he also comes as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So today we're celebrating the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. The other verse we want to talk about is, there's a parade going on. Well, let me say this first. Acha, there's the phone. Well, let me ask you this. If you don't remember anything else, and I know everybody's got a lot on their mind and so many distractions, and with the video games, the attention, ability to focus is greatly reduced. But if you don't remember anything else, remember this, that this world has a purpose. And I'm going to add to that. Okay, what is that purpose? And is that purpose to simply try to enjoy? If this world was made for our enjoyment, God didn't do a very good job. If you think about it, 90% of the time we're struggling. It's miseries caused by the weather or other people or the mind or the body. You think the body, try being 73. I'll trade you. Actually, I wouldn't, to tell you the truth. I'd rather have some Krishna consciousness. But my point is, there's a lot of struggle and suffering in this world. So if God made this world for us to enjoy, He didn't do a very good job. Then maybe there's another purpose. Maybe if I keep trying to put a square peg in a round hole, well, good luck. You got to find, it's made for another purpose. So two things. If you don't remember anything else, hopefully you'll remember this. And one of them is that I am not this body, nor am I this mind, nor am I this pride, this ego. I'm big and important, I'm this, I'm that. We're none of those things. Something going on? Oh, just saying hi. That's a mother and daughter. I'm not this body. It's a collapsible contraption. Somebody's got a brand new car they're very fond of, and somebody backs into it. It happens. Another gift from the material nature. And someone says, "You hit me. Hey, you hit me." Well, did I actually hit you? Did I hit the person in the car? No. I mean, did their nerves grow out into the bumper? But by association, by attachment, they identify with it. So we think we're this body. We think we're this mind, but the mind changes. I've had so many different, I wanted to be a fireman when I was a kid. I wanted to be an astronaut. Krishna saved me, I became a monk. But we have so many, our ego, people change their hairstyle, they look back at what they were wearing 10 years ago, or their hair, what was I thinking? So the ego changes, the pride changes, the body certainly changes. So I'm not this body, I'm the soul riding within it. I'm the eternal soul. And the other thing is, this body was not crafted for us to enjoy. We're not the body, and therefore all the aspirations we've got. If I've got an itch, suppose my ear itches, and I'm scratching my knee, is that going to solve the problem? You see a baby who's hungry, you give a little toy to play with, you give it that, you jangle your key. No way. It wants its mother and it wants the nurse. So what do we actually want? That is the beginning of spiritual life, to understand all the shifting and changing demands of the mind and the body actually they're superfluous. They're superficial. They're going to here today, gone tomorrow. And this world is not crafted for us to enjoy. It doesn't work that way. If it did, it'd be a lot better at it. So the question then becomes, if I'm not this body, if I'm not this ego, pride, and this world isn't made for me to enjoy, what's it meant for? Isn't that a logical question? If you just stop for a minute, okay, that's out, that option's out, what's left? What is this life meant for? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because today is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day, is Krishna coming to show us. Does anyone know what this world is meant for and what we're meant to do? Does anyone know but the conclusion of Krishna's teachings in Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the foundation of Vedic knowledge, of spiritual knowledge. As I said, Krishna comes from time to time to reset us on the right course. So Bhagavad Gita, I think it's 1865, Sarva Dharma. Huh? 1866. Does anyone know what that verse is? If you just know the English. Oh, what, you're too shy? If you get the wrong answer, you'll still get...
Surrender unto me, do all your actions for me.
Sarva dharma prityaja mamikam saranam braja aham tam sarva papayo byo mokshashami masucha. You just surrender to me. I will free you from all reactions. Just surrender to me. Just become a Lord, a servant of the Supreme Lord. Get rid of all the other egos and dreams and just surrender to me. Okay. How do I do that? How do I serve? That's the next logical question. So Krishna, out of his deep compassion for every living entity, it's said that Krishna is in everyone's heart as the super soul, as the Paramatma. Just like I can put out a bunch of pots of water and each one will have the sun reflected in it. Krishna's in everyone's heart. Each and every one of you, the Supreme Lord is writing in our heart. Helping, giving advice, giving directions. Oh, you don't want to go that way. No, I'm going that way. Wham! So, to help us, how to surrender, the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagavad Gita ends, Krishna comes again as Lord Chaitanya and shows us what a devotee is. So, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, the Supreme Lord himself. Come again, Yuge, coming periodically to help us. Krishna comes again as Lord Chaitanya to show us how to be a devotee. He's Krishna showing us how to be a devotee. Just like a teacher sometimes, the kids trying to learn A, B, C on the chalkboard. And the teacher says, no, and takes the kid's hand, A, B, So Krishna himself comes to show us how to love Krishna, how to be a devotee of Krishna. So if we conclude, here's, what do you call it when you were a kid? Connect the dots and you get a picture. So let's connect the dots and see what the picture is. If we connect the dots, that we're not this body. And we're not this mind, raging mind full of desires, which are always shifting and changing. If we're not this body, we're not this mind, we're not this false ego. We're the soul within. And if this world is not designed to make us titillate our senses and a little bit of happiness, a drop of desert, a drop of rain or water in the desert, will anyone doubt that a drop of water in the desert is water? Okay, you've got some water. You're out there in the Gobi Desert, or let's do it locally. You're out here in the whatever that is, the Mojave. And I come along with a little eyedropper. And you say, water, water. And I come along with a little eyedropper, say, here you go, buddy, open up. Have I solved your problem? So, okay, fine. There's a little paltry tinsel, knick-knack, Walmart happiness. We'll give it to you. But it's like a drop of water in the desert. So, if I connect the dots, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the ego. I'm the eternal soul. And this world is not created for us to spend our whole time trying to titillate our senses. But what if the purpose, as the conclusion of Gita, is to learn how to become a pure servant of the Supreme Lord? What if that's the goal? And Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a devotee, to confirm that, to reinforce it, and to show us how. Okay, whoops. Okay, how? But why don't we ask why? People don't do anything. Well, you can move out of fear. That's another. Fear or pain are motivators. But even stronger is if something has a taste, if it has a happiness, if it has joy. We're all looking for happiness. A plant will turn towards the sun. We're all looking for happiness. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna come as a devotee, is relishing in that verse from this set, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prema Pratayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Tvishe Namaha. It says of all the other incarnations, as I was saying, Yuge, Krishna comes at different times again and again to help us. But of all the incarnations, Ram, Nrsingadev, so many Krishna, so many incarnations, of all of those, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna in the form of a devotee, gives the most wonderful thing. Of all gifts, liberation, okay, fine. You know, there's so many other, but the most wonderful thing is the taste of pure love of Krishna. It is that taste, it is that happiness that is unexcelled. So that happiness, everyone, let's do a thought exercise for a moment, just for fun. Stop for a moment and think of someone you love very, very much. You don't have to tell me who. You can keep it to yourself. But just think for a moment, someone you really deeply love. Oh, right on cue. And then think that you haven't seen that person for a long time. You haven't seen them for, I don't know, a couple years, 20 years, whatever. So you have in your heart someone you love very, very deeply, and you haven't seen them for a long time. And the door opens, and they walk in. How do you feel? You know, they say your heart skips a beat. Oh, you get up, you embrace, you're so happy to see them. Imagine, just for a moment, what it's like to meet again, face to face, the Supreme, all-attractive Supreme Lord, who is our dearmost friend. Imagine what that is like. It is the most sublime intoxication. Oh, we got it in stereo. No, it's all right. We're almost done. So, and how to get that? That is the purpose of life. It is not to get these paltry, petty promises that you have to give it up. Everything. What is Shakespeare? You know, here lies Yorick, I think, sans teeth, sans hair, sans everything. He's holding the skull of a dead servant. Everything goes. What about if you can come to the spiritual level? That's what we're offering. It's not just, oh, okay, fine. You don't want to suffer sinful reactions, so go to the temple and put a little something in the donation box. That's fine, great, thank you very much. Helps run the temple. But that's not what it's all about. Or you get, it's so many religious groups are fighting about this and that. So that's not what it's about. It's about the method for actually freeing ourselves from all those coverings, realizing the pure self and its relationship with Krishna, all attractive Supreme Lord, and realizing it, tasting it, experiencing it, relishing it. That's what human life is meant for. Don't sell yourself short. Don't you like they have those behind this curtain? I don't know if they still have those game shows. They used to have game shows. And you pick door number 1 or door number 2, and and you open door number 2, and you get a screwdriver. And here's what was behind door number 3. And it's a brand new Rolls Royce. So it's, damn, picked the wrong door. So imagine we spend our whole life and we pick the wrong door. We're going, and I'm sorry, but these things are petty. Taste a little something, go and see, whatever. I don't want to waste too much time on it. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. You could not find a better person to teach us. And it is the best thing. They advertise it, but it's never true. If you see an advertisement, this is the absolutely best model, and it's at the cheapest price. If you see that, you're being cheated. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna come himself, as the Supreme Lord does. He's coming and offering the highest thing, what no other avatar, no other incarnation, no other form of God has offered. He's offering the pure, sweet, relishable. Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, said, if you follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna coming as a devotee, if you follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and they are easy, if you follow them, the time will come in this life. You don't have to die and wait and hope you go to heaven and say, missed the boat. I should have gone to Disneyland. No. In this life, if you practice it, follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his path is easy. If you follow him, Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, promised, you will see Krishna face to face in this life. And he was asked by Jayadvaita Swami, Prabhupada, in this life? Prabhupada said, in this life, why not? So this is an urgent appeal. Don't sell yourself for second best. Don't miss the boat. You look here in this room, many of these people are full-time practicing devotees. You can get married, you can have kids, you can have a career, you can join us. My father, it's a true story. My father was upset when I became a devotee that I didn't take over the business and all that kind of stuff. But he got used to it. He warmed up to it after it. And after he sold his business and he was having his retirement dinner, everyone's there in tuxedos and the whole thing. And I'm dressed. I was a household, was married at the time. But I'm in a dhoti and kurta and tilak. And it was trying to, how does he fit into the picture? So my father said, everyone's congratulating me for retiring. I sold my business. I'm 67 years old, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life on the beach reading. He was out of the game, and he was happy. So he said, my father said, people are congratulating me for being intelligent. But my youngest son, Exhibit A, I was sitting next to him, he said, my youngest son is smarter than me. People are wondering, how's that? And my father said he retired at 17 and a half. He said he joined the Hare Krishna movement. And what can I say? We work hard. We're up early. We work hard for Krishna out of love. But it is fun. But we've got all types of people. that are living as devotees. You don't have, you just, one of the first things Srila Prabhupada said to me, if you take 0 times 0 to the 0th power, what does it equal? Everybody knows it's 0. But you put a 1 in front of it, it becomes 100 or 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000. So Prabhupada said in the same way, all you have to do is put Krishna's seva in front of it. That's the 1. Whatever we're doing, you put Krishna in front. You put the 1 in front, Krishna. And the whole thing is transformed. So that's a little preface about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and what it means to us. He's opening the door. He's shining the light on the path for us to realize the most magnanimous, wonderful thing, pure love of Krishna. And it's open to everyone. Okay? Now, I have 4 minutes left, and I think this is a little fast. But I wanted to say something about Chaitanya Charitamrita, this book. It is completely sublime. It is full of philosophy. It's full of wonder. It's a biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You'll learn Vaishnav culture. It's full of nectar. And let me just give you one example. This is one verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita and how it's practical news you can use. And it's fully explained. It's elaborated on. Just, we'll be done in a second. The Bengali is Trinadapi Sunechena Tororeva Sasishtuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahadi. And it's from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's giving an analogy. You know, people are looking for, how can I become happy? How can I become peaceful? If you advertise a talk on stress, if you advertise a talk on deep experience of spiritual emotion, which we're offering, you get 1 or 2 people, and probably one of them came in the wrong door. If you advertise stress release, people are queued up. You got to get a bigger hall. So it's a fact. So where's some news I can use? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I'm only going to talk about part of the verse. There's 4 parts to it. And these are the jewels that are in this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita. They are jewels. It is a jewel mine that you... Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who had a photographic memory, had memorized the Vedas, so many things. Whenever he had spare time, he would read Chaitanya Charitamrita. And every time I read it, I find something new. So it is a jewel mine to be mined. So here's just a short verse, one simple example, that if one learns to be humble, everyone, he says, lower than the straw, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. Who cares for straw? But think about it. If we didn't care, it doesn't mean it's licensed to act like a debauch, but if we didn't care what people thought, I mean, the whole fashion industry would crash. If it fits me, if it's warm, if it's comfortable, hey. You know, but think about how much I was in the, getting my car fixed, quite frankly. And the sidewalk was there was a pane of glass. And it was, the way the sun was angled, it was working like a mirror. And you'd watch people walking down the street. I was getting my oil changed. As you were walking down the street, and they'd see themselves in the mirror. And I saw a guy fluffing his hair. If you guys sit over here, people can get in the door. Just plow your way through. So fluffing his hair, and you know, some people would walk by and they'd catch themselves in the mirror and they'd be, do I really look that old? Have I really gained that much weight? I mean, you know, we want to be healthy and all that, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, if we were free from humility, I mean, if we were not free from, we already are. I saw, you know the old saying, I used to be proud, but now I'm perfect. So if we could just become humble, and what do we have to be proud about? One man in our temple in Los Angeles many years ago, whoop, we're over. So how to become humble, and the value of humility, and the freedom if one becomes free from all this pride. It is an incredible weight off our back. You can make real friendships. If you're humble, you care about everybody. You know? Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, used to get up early in the morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock at the latest. And one time he's up 1:30, called his servant, his assistant, his secretary came in. I think your phone is going off. Oh, it's timed in? Oh, and you're going to turn it up? Oh, I like that. Okay, so let me just finish with this. That's actually a good strategy. I offer my respects. So sorry about that. Thought it was your. So anyway, Prabhupada called 1:30. His secretary came, and what had happened is there was a little bug. He said, "You see this bug? Take this flower. Take him outside. He must be very tired." Prabhupada has seen this bug trying to climb up the wall and get out the window, but he didn't, you know, he was a little bug. So even a tiny bug in Prabhupada's room, he was feeling humble. He was feeling, you know, let me help my little friend here, So imagine if that's how we saw the world. Forget all this fighting, this one, you know. So my simple point is that's one verse. I had 3 more I was going to talk about, but that's one of the jewels that are in this Chaitanya-the. So on this auspicious day, it is a discount price, the best thing at a discount price. $135, you can buy it with a card. I do not get a commission. I don't. Who cares? I want you to take it home and read it on this auspicious day. If you don't have enough money right now for the Chaitanya-the set, fully illustrated, there's another short summary called The Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is $10. But figure how much you spend on Starbucks or going to Disneyland or, I don't know, video game, whatever it is. You invest in one of these books, it will only get sweeter and sweeter, and your life will only... Last thing, you buy one of these books, invest in one of these transcendental literatures. You read it 5 minutes a day. And if in 1 month you don't feel profoundly more happy, you come back, I'll give you your money back. I guarantee, and it's been witnessed. Okay, we can end there. Thank you very much. You can get these books from me. We'll move the table over, and when things are done, you can get a book from me. But there's only one CC, Chaitanya-the set. Wow! Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, go ahead. Take me a minute. If you do want one, you can give me your name, and I'll get a set from our LA temple.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.